Alrighty, guys. I think we figured it out. I think I did what I needed to do. I'm just double checking on my Facebook. Um, Hopefully, y'all can see me on Facebook. Let's see here. No, that's not it. Because it says it's on there. So let me go back to my channels. It says it's streaming. So maybe it just takes a minute to pop on.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yes, I see us
We-
on Facebook.
oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh, well, then that's even better. As long as you can, I'm okay.
I think it just has a little delay from, I mean, it's not exactly when we do it. Okay,
Yeah.
guys. We got it.
Woohoo!
We're
Hey,
here.
whatever Renee is saying and doing, I'm letting her. It's working. It's working for us, right?
Yes, it is.
It says you're live now. You're live now, so that's great.
Yes, yes. So, welcome. Welcome to our first live, everybody. Episode 12, but our first live
12.
episode. I'm Renee.
I'm Christina.
We're so excited.
And we're excited now. We're doing a face to face and live videos, and who knows where this can go. So we're just excited. We're giddy about it too. This is something new, definitely something new for us as we move forward along with this whole production, right?
I know. I know. Even though we're so excited that we're here live, it's my fault.
Go ahead and explain why what's your fault, Renee.
Um, so again, I'm the technical person, which is
And I should not be mad at all. Trust me, ladies and gents, I am not mad at all. But go ahead, explain.
so we were in the middle of
Middle?
no,
No,
yeah, it was the middle. It was the
we were
middle.
the end,
We were at the end.
Renee.
Okay, so we I was trying to make it sound nice.
Yeah, I know. But we're going to be
Okay,
honest here.
but but we did the podcast as normal where I was gonna edit it and everything, and we are
Hmm.
in minute 23 of the podcast. And I look up and I had not unmuted the microphone, which means that you couldn't hear me, you couldn't hear Christina, and it was like 5 o'clock. We were like, hey, why don't we do live?
And it was such a good segment already that we were like, wow, this is great. And then all of a sudden I see her face and I'm like, oh my God, is there something wrong? What's going on? And that's when she tells me, and I was like, what? Hmm.
But
So this is take two.
take two, take three, take four. We've tried
We're
this.
going to do it. We're going to keep going until we get this right.
So thank you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Those of you who are new, we appreciate you watching us either on Facebook or on YouTube. We're just thankful you're here watching us. But so Dallas has gone through a weekend.
Yeah, we're having some, it's like someone's having a heart attack and the doctor is having to like do the all clear to pump us back into um, the living. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. Um, Luca's gone from the Mavericks.
Yeah.
That's a
Major upset. Major upset.
major, major. I think a lot of the issues with this is nobody knew it was gonna happen.
It was a
It was
surprise.
gonna happen.
We woke up we woke up to people like um taking flowers and a coffin and T-shirts, just placing it all in front of the AAC, and it's a sad day. It's a
It's a
sad
sad
day.
day. But I also feel bad for the other guys that are getting traded because they're not getting as much like love and stuff
No, they're not going to
as
get it.
Luca. But
No,
you know,
I mean, but they've already claimed. I think it was one of the main trade guy. See how full of sports knowledge I have, but he's already claimed. Look, if we have a bad season, it's going to be my fault. So he's like either accepting it or just saying whatever it is, it's going to be.
yeah, yeah. But like I said, it was a big announcement. People all over the league. It looked like were very surprised at this trade.
Yep.
I found out. So
We haven't heard from Mark Cuban either. So
oh no, I did. I saw it
did he
today.
finally? Did he finally come out? Wow.
He said he didn't know.
What? Well,
He said someone said that they called him or whatever, and that they were like, "Hey, I'm confused," and that Mark Cuban was like, "Well, yeah, I'm confused too."
wow. Wow. I mean, I always felt like he wanted to follow in Dirk's footsteps as far as like making, staying here for the long run, trying to win a ring, all that good stuff. And I mean, but it took time for Dirk to do that too,
Right.
So I assumed that's what Luca wanted to do too. And for this to happen, it's like everyone's just in shock right now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And Luca came out, and apparently he was very upset. He had just bought a $15 million home here in Dallas.
wow. So he
Yeah.
had no idea.
None.
It's and people are saying, now this new owner is acting a little like Jerry Jones, and oh, well, they're millionaires. They can do whatever they want, I guess.
So like I've said before, I'm the only female on the hall, and so of course we got coaches and stuff, and so this was a big
This,
topic with the guys on the hall, and
uh-huh.
one of them went down the conspiracy um, rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So like I don't know if anybody knows, Mark Cuban is not the major owner of the Mavericks anymore. It's a lady that has something to do with casinos in Vegas. And
Mm.
so one of the conspiracies the guys came up with was that she wants the Mavericks to tank so that the fan base won't want them here anymore. So she can.
Oh, I was about to say something. Sounds a lot like teachers. But I'm not going there. I'm not going. I
No,
promise I'm
no,
not
no,
going there. We're not going there.
no, no,
Be
no,
quiet.
no.
Be quiet.
Because I guess her big, like I said, she's big in casinos in Vegas, and I think she wanted to have that kind of same thing here in Texas. Well, we have the lottery, but we don't have actual legal casinos.
Right, right.
And I don't think that Texas is moving fast enough for her to have an actual casino. So that's one of the conspiracy theories the guys on the hall came up with.
Well, I wouldn't put it past her.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So we just have to see. And
Well, that's why you don't put all your hopes and wishes on one team. That's why you got to expand, like I have, right? I still love the Dallas Cowboys, don't get me wrong. But right about now, I'm just rooting for those Chiefs on their way to the Super Bowl.
whatever.
I know. I know. Not a lot of fans. I get it.
But I did see a meme that I thought it was funny because it
Hmm.
was just like, oh, the Mavericks owner or the Mavericks were like, "Hey, Cowboys, hold my beer," when it came to like bad trades.
Someone had to follow up, so I guess the Mavericks had to do it.
Yeah,
You know. Okay.
yeah. But he had a lot of fans, and I'm pretty sure they had a lot of fangirling, is what in case people don't know. That's when you freak out when you meet someone that
Yeah.
you really admire. And I had a fangirl moment.
Did you?
last weekend. Yes. So, like I've said before, I'm a teaching fellow for the Dallas Holocaust Museum, and there's this woman, Alexandra Zapruder. She's a big deal in genocide studies, Holocaust studies, that world. But you should, if some of you might know their last name, Zapruder, the Zapruder film with the JFK. That's the clearest and longest video that we have of his assassination, and that's her grandpa. So in the history world, she she's big deal. Her family's a big deal in the Holocaust studies world. She's a big deal, and I got to meet her. But she knew who I was, and I think
That's
that's
even cooler.
you know, um,
That's cool.
yeah.
For those nerds out there, that's pretty cool when you get to meet someone who's written books, someone related to, her own father in his own right has his own, status within us history nerds. So yeah,
Um, and I've mentioned before, Christina's the one that got me into this Holocaust journey. Um, and she's the one that introduced me to these teaching sessions and stuff. And I just kind of continued, and here I am today. So I've seen her do presentations. I have
hmm
her books. I've taught her books. But the way we got together was there's a teacher that actually brought genocide studies to Dallas ISD, and she was kind of a big deal in the world too. The Holocaust, the director of education got me in touch with the teacher, Kathleen, and I got all her Holocaust stuff because she retired and she now works for the United States Holocaust Museum, which, all her stuff is so awesome. Love it.
yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
Kathleen.
yeah.
Um, and so about October, I get an email from Kathleen saying, "Hey, I have a friend. She's going to be coming in January. She might need some help. Have you ever done PDs before?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did a PD at the Holocaust Museum for the Candy Brown teacher session. I've done some at school." She's like, "Great, I'll connect you two." Cool. About a week later, I get an email from Kathleen, and it's like, "Hi, Alexandra. This is my friend Renee." And I'm like, "Excuse me?" And I go to the two line on the email, and I was like, "OMG, OMG, it is Alexandra Zapruder." Like, and this is just an email. This isn't
Yeah,
even an email from her. It's just the fact that I am in the same email as Alexandra Zapruder, you know?
yeah.
And so um Alexandra writes back saying, "Hi Renee, nice to meet you. I don't think I'm gonna need any help this time around, but I'll keep your information next time. But I do want you to come to the presentation," which I was already going to because it's the first teaching session for the Holocaust studies for this year. And I was like, "Oh yes, not a problem." And inside I'm like freaking out, even though it's still just an email, still just an email. So the day finally comes last weekend, and I get there, and we're all introducing ourselves, and there was a professor from UTA, and she was just like, "Just let you guys know, I'm probably gonna fan out when Alexandra gets here because I use her books. I'm a big fan." Da 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 da. And so the presentation goes on. Alexandra comes in, she sits at the table behind me, and then she gives her presentation. And then it was time for lunch. And so I go and grab my tray or my plate, and I'm walking back to my table. And she's like, "Hi, are you Renee Martinez?" And I was like, in my head, I'm like, "Oh my God, yes, I am. Thank you so very much."
Let me put my plate down real quick.
But on the outside, I was like, "Why, yes, yes, that's me. Nice to meet you." She's like, "Oh, I'm
hmm
so glad we got to meet." And she was telling me about the program that she's working on now with teachers, and she invited me to the program next summer. And all the while inside, I'm like, "Oh, I'm dying. I am dying. Like, she is just asking me to be a part of her project. It's so awesome." And
Yeah.
this was noon, guys. So I had 4 hours to keep this excitedness inside because I didn't want her to know that I'm fangirling over her.
Yeah, she doesn't want to know.
And so, so we're eating or whatever, and then we go to the theater because she's part of a movie. It's called Defiant.
Requiem.
Thank you.
You're
Defiant
welcome.
Requiem. So we go. See, I'm off a
Yeah,
cliff.
because you're so, yeah, you're excited, super excited.
And so we go into the theater, and I'm with my other teaching fellow, Stephanie, and she's like, "Oh my God, she knew your name." And I'm like, "I know, she knew my name."
Such nerds.
Such nerds. And we even said that. We're like, "Oh my God, we're such nerds." And we're like, "I know." And then Alexander, of course, comes and sits right next to us. So we had to like compose
You
ourselves.
had to chill out. Yeah.
And
Don't
then
let her know.
don't let her know. And like right now, I'm still just like, OMG. And it's been over a week, guys. And I'm still like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And so when I see Ephraim, I'm like, I could finally just let that all out. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. And I just let it all, like the excitement and the happiness just out. And I was just, but even now, I'm just like, she knows who I am. So yeah,
And
so that was my fangirl time.
and she'll be able to get a hold of you whenever
Mhm.
she comes into town again.
Yeah.
If she needs an assistant,
If
that's
she needs help,
you.
that's me. Hi.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, I once was, I have to share, I haven't met anyone lately where I'm going to freak out. If I could meet like Keanu Reeves, I'd freak out,
Oh,
right?
he's the ultimate though.
Right. I think so. But when I worked at Texas Tech, I was part of the University Center theater crew. And with being part of that, crew, we got to bring in a lot of like speakers, actors, plays, musicians. So we got to see a lot of famous people, and I got to see quite a few folks. Carrot Top at the time, he was pretty big, but I also got
I don't mean
to
to.
meet.
We actually had a conversation in our hallway about Carrot Top.
Did
He's
ya?
60.
He's up there. I mean, I'm 50, so yeah, he wasn't that old when he came
No, but
across the
we were like,
university center.
we were just, we just, then we start feeling old because like, what? Carrot Top is 60? What do
Wow. And
you mean?
yeah, he's not carrying it very well either. So, but I also came across Edward James Olmos, which, of course, I didn't know it then that he would be like, of course, he portrayed Jaime Escalante in Stand and Deliver, but I didn't know it then that that movie would affect my professional career. Like every summer, that is my go-to film that I watch, and like, okay, get in that mood, get in that mode. You're about to start, another school year, so that's always been my go-to film. But I didn't realize it then that that film would have such a huge impact. But the one that and of course, I met Spike Lee, fine. But the one actor that I will always just carry with me and fan out on, which it's unfortunate because he's passed away, is James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones was I mean, you can't beat James Earl
No,
Jones and the voice, right? And, just knowing his backstory, dyslexic with a stutter, I mean, just all of those things, I was just like, wow, just impressive of the work that he's done. But of course, at that time, I'm part of the crew and he takes naps before he comes on. And so I was the one that was in charge of having to wake up James Earl Jones from his nap. So for call time, right?
it is.
And so there I go downstairs to the green room because our green room was downstairs and having to wake up. I always think of it as Darth Vader, right? I mean, here I am waking up Darth from his nap. And again, every time watch a movie with my husband, he's a big Star Wars fan. That's where I go, right? And I kind of like, oh, he is my favorite character because of that. And of course, I probably gonna get the death stare tonight when I go to bed. But no, that is my one. I wish I could have met him later, but I'm so glad I met him when I did, and it's a memory I'll always carry for the rest of my life. So
Did you ever see him on Big Bang Theory?
yes,
And it was
wow,
so weird to see him in that kind of comedic role because
it was
even though
perfect.
even though in
Yeah,
Coming to America it was a funny movie, he was still very you know.
Yeah, stern and
Yeah.
serious, but no,
To
he
see
was
him running
wonderful.
around with Sheldon on Big Bang Theory, I was like doing a ding dong ditch on
And
Carrie Fisher.
I love being in a room. I love being in a room and I can say, I've met him, you know.
Yeah.
I woke him up from his nap, you know.
And then everyone's gonna be like, hold on, hold on. He was at our school. He was at our school. Calm down, calm
What do you
down.
mean his nap? But other than that, I've had some really good moments too. And of course, it happened when I was a tech. A lot of this because I was part of that crew. I was also able to meet Enrique Iglesias, but that was for my 21st birthday. And my college sweetheart kind of made sure I got to
Was that
see him.
with mole or without mole
It was
Enrique?
still with the mole. But he was so sweet. We met him. I mean, no one really knew him. I mean, the
Mhm.
Lubbock folks knew him, but um, to be waiting in the Holiday Inn lobby, and we're the only ones waiting. And for him to come down the elevator, and we're like, "Oh my God, we're such good fans," And then for him to say, "Hey, do y'all have tickets? Are y'all coming to the show?" We're poor college students. Joe wasn't buying tickets. And so we're like, no, but it's my birthday, but we're just gonna, we're just so glad we got to see you here. And he's like, no, just follow the van. Follow the van, I'll get you in. And he got us in. So that is also my Enrique Iglesias. So, but I'm not a fan. I mean, I'm a fan. I appreciate his music, but I'm not like, oh my God,
Yeah.
Enrique.
He's not
No.
James Earl Jones.
He's not James Earl Jones. That's right.
That's great.
Boom.
The place where I met a lot of celebrities or well-known people was when I worked at the Gap at North Park.
There you go. North
Oh,
Park. A
yeah,
center point.
a center point. We had a
Yes.
lot of the Mavericks would come and come shop there. Rick Ross, the rapper.
Huh.
I
Well,
was just
and
like,
the Gap. Who doesn't like the Gap?
and he was there. He was there for his kids, so he was on the kids side.
Oh.
Um, Demarcus Ware used to come a lot. He would come a lot. Like every other week, him and I think his first wife would come, and she would shop, and he would just kind of stand around, and people would walk up to him and be like, "Hey, can I take a picture?" And he's like, "Oh, sure,"
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, none of them. We never had a problem with any of the the sports people like being rude to fans wanting pictures.
Well, speaking of sports, I forgot another one. And
Oh,
I will be a fan until the day they let him into the Baseball Hall of Fame, and that's Pete Rose. You said as soon as you mentioned mall, I was like, wait a minute, I met Pete Rose at a mall. He was signing autographs, and again, I tagged along with my ex boyfriend, and we're hanging out waiting to get his ball signed, and we get up to the table, and it's Pete Rose, and I was just like, I've heard of him. I know of him. And so, of course, I started following him since then. Unfortunate that, he got caught for allegedly gambling, but this man, I swear, would not let go of my hand when he met me. And he's like, and who's this? And, oh, your name. And, it's just the sweet man, flirtatious man. But I was just like, okay, I'm giving in to those brown eyes.
tell the truth, it was the haircut.
Sure, sure, it was a haircut. But when people have charisma, it
Yeah,
doesn't matter what the haircut
matter what.
looks like.
Hmm.
It does not matter. And he was sweet. He was sweet.
But I agree with you. He needs to be in the if any of those Houston Astros can get into the Hall of Fame.
Well, right.
I'm just I'm just I'm just saying.
Right, right, right.
That's crazy. That's pretty cool though. That is
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool.
I've been pretty
Um,
fortunate to meet some people.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's about
Hey, Zapruder, the
I
Zapruder
know.
film.
I know. I know.
That's that's elite.
Yeah. That was exciting. I'm just still excited. I was like, okay, yeah, it is. It is. So, but those of you that are online, let us know, who would you fangirl after,
Yeah, who's
or
your fan?
boy after? Like, what is that one that if you meet them, you're gonna have to suppress all this excited energy so you don't look like a dork?
I mean, you could still be it's appreciation of what they do, what they say, how they, it's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. You could still fan out and enjoy it.
But I do. Well, I think my other one would be like either Mike Madonna or Brett Hull from the Stars.
Okay.
So many years ago when I was at W No School Finer than W Griner Exploratory Arts Academy. Thank you. Um, I was in eighth grade, and they bring all the eighth graders into the auditorium, and they're like, "Hey, we have a new hockey team, the Northern Stars, because they were coming from Minnesota." And they introduced them, and Mike Madonna was on the team. Um, and we were like, okay, cool, like hockey, like it's hot here, like we didn't know how, if that was gonna like work here in Dallas,
Yeah.
because we were such a football like area, right? But they were very smart. They brought, and we got to interact with them. They gave us freebies,
Nice.
like little hockey pucks with the Northern Star. I wish I kept it. That would have been something like the North Stars or whatever, and little pennants and stuff. And so I was just like, when they started coming on TV, I was like, you know what? They took time out of their life to come to my school. Let me go ahead and watch a game or two. And if you've never watched hockey, guys, it is so exciting. I mean, it's action, just back and forth,
Constant.
and then when I was at UNT, a friend of mine would get tickets
Hmm.
from a friend of hers, and she would be like, "Hey, we're going to be in the platinum section or the silver something."
Ooh.
So we had parking and we had the platinum section, and so TV is one thing, live is such another
I
thing.
bet. I bet.
And so, but Brett Hull's the one that scored for us to get the Stanley Cup. So I think he would be my other one. Not even Mike Madonna. Like I know he, when he's with the Dallas Stars, you think of Mike
Right.
Madonna. He's the one that scored the goal. I got to meet the guy that scored the goal.
That's right. That's awesome. Brought the
So
Stanley Cup home.
hopefully one day. But yeah.
Yeah. That'll
And
work.
now, and I got my husband. He's a Stars fan now, which apparently, we're not watching the Cowboys or the Mavericks right now because of everything going on.
Hey, you can watch the Chiefs this Sunday.
I ain't watching not one Super Bowl. I don't like either team. I don't like
Okay.
their halftime show. It's just gonna be a regular Sunday.
Okay. Okay. My feelings aren't hurt.
I know they're not. I know. But yeah. So, well, guys, I hope you enjoyed our first live stream, and maybe now we figured it out so that we can do more of these. Let us know
Yeah.
if you want to see more of these, and we'll do more of these. Because I know sometimes we forget that we're on Spotify and on YouTube. I kind of like this better because I don't have to edit the intro and the music and all that kind of stuff together.
Yeah,
Um,
that takes work. That
yeah.
definitely takes work for sure.
But just to reiterate, it is unscripted. Even when we record, the only thing I add to it is the beginning song and music, song and intro, and then the music on the out. Everything else
It's
is very
yeah,
much
it's
scripted.
unscripted for sure. For sure.
So, but let us know. Those of you, if this is your first time that you've heard that we have this podcast, that we have this channel, subscribe, share,
Please
let other
keep
people
sharing.
know about us. Yeah.
I mean, it's growing, it's growing. I'm excited. I'm sure they were expecting just to listen to us this week, but we decided let's try something else. Let's try something new. And I love that Renee likes to take a challenge. So I appreciate you, Renee.
And we're up to 307 subscribers.
Woohoo! Keep it going.
Keep it going. So we appreciate y'all. We thank y'all for supporting us on this journey. And
Yep.
let us know how you like this live version. And maybe you'll see some more lives from us later on.
Maybe. We'll
All
see.
right. Till then, everybody, take it easy.
Bye, everyone.